This video is gonna make some people mad, isn't it? What's up, ladies and gentlemen? KaiGuySlider here, and today I'm bringing you guys something kind of different, but also something pretty cool at the same time. You might have seen this going around on YouTube. I got inspiration of this for this video by watching other YouTubers do this, and I will put their link in the description down below. I think it was Hoodlum Scrappy I saw this, and I thought this was really cool. He actually made this, actually. He made a template where you can rank the different starter Pokemon. And you guys know there's a lot of debate between like which starter Pokemon is the best from which generation and everything. Everyone has their favorite, and everyone goes back and forth on why which one's better, why which one's worse, what's kind of the argument going on there. Everyone's got that debate. So I thought it'd be a good idea, not a good idea actually. I thought it would be interesting to kind of throw my hat in the ring real quick. So I figured I'd give you guys my rundown on all the starters from all 8 generations. That's right, I will be covering Sword and Shield, even though we only have their base forms. I figured I would give you guys a brief rundown into my thoughts and opinions on all the starter Pokemon, and rank them how I believe they fall. So, like, let me preface this now. This is my opinion. Mine. Not yours. Mine. If this video upsets you because your starter Pokemon isn't ranked #1 for a specific generation, I'm sorry. I am genuinely sorry that I don't like the Pokemon as much as you do. If you like it and you love it, it's one of your favorite Pokemon, that's fine. That is absolutely fine, and that's a wonderful thing. It would be boring if everyone only liked one starter Pokemon from each generation. Sorry, Poplio. Anyway, yeah, so if you have a different opinion than mine, that's fine. I'm okay with that, as long as you are okay with that too, and you should be. We should respect each other's opinions. That's how the world works. Actually, really how the world works is this video is going to make someone really, really angry. Anyway, but enough rambling. Like I said, it's my opinion. If you disagree with me, feel free to tell me in the comments which one you like better and why. What's your favorite Pokemon favorite starter from each generation? Let me know. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions. I'd love to have like a little back and forth with you about that. I would love to do something like that. Now, without further ado, I'm going to actually go ahead and get into this. So, as you can see, we've got the different tiers. We got 3rd level, which is going to be like the bronze medals. Middle tier is going to be silver. And the gold top tier is going to be for 1st place. Makes sense, right? It's kind of like the Olympics. But I'm going to be doing this live. Like, this is not the specific order already. I don't prefer the grass Pokemon from every generation. I'm going to be doing this as we go by generation, so you guys will see my thought and work through everything as I go. So we're going to start with good old Generation 1, and this is the one where I know for a fact I'm going to make somebody mad. I already know it to be true, and I've accepted that as a reality. Because, and here's the thing, I'm not a big Charmander guy. I'm really not. I understand why people like it. It's dope. It's a dragon. Charizard's a dragon. Before I continue, I'm going to preface this. Except for Gen 8, I'm going to be ranking the whole line, not just the base form. Anyway, back to my thought process. It's a fire-breathing dragon. I get why people love it. It's really, really cool. However, it's just not for me. Like, I think what happened was it got really oversaturated for me. Like, really oversaturated. I think the anime oversaturated it. When I'm exposed to something too much, I get bored of it and tired of it really quickly. That's why I have to play video games in such a small burst. Because if I play them, like, immediately back to back and, like, work through as fast as possible, I'm not going to enjoy it. That's why, like, for Kingdom Hearts 3 when it came out, a bunch of my friends beat it in a day. It took me like 3.5 weeks to beat that game because I just didn't want to oversaturate myself to it because I knew I would end up hating it. And that kind of happened with Charmander and Charizard and Charmeleon too. The anime and the show and just people everywhere just oversaturate telling me how Charizard is this awesome, really cool Pokemon. And it honestly, like, just made me, like, not like it as much. Like, I feel like that doesn't really make sense to some people, but I feel like some people will probably understand what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying it's overrated or anything, because it's a really cool Pokemon. It's a fire-breathing dragon. Like, how can it not be cool? It's just not what I prefer. And if you prefer it, that's fine, but that's just my thought process on the Pokemon. So, actually, Charmander is going to come in 3rd place in Generation 1. Unfortunately. I'm sorry if you disagree with me, but I'm sorry if you're mad about this, but I have to put him there. And actually, fun fact, this is how I would rank the rest of Gen 1 right here as well. Squirtle at #2, Bulbasaur #1. Going into Squirtle, I like Squirtle a lot. It's adorable. It was really cool in the anime. It didn't get as oversaturated for me as Charizard did. I'm not a big War Turtle guy, honestly. Like, I feel like it's alright. It's a good middle stage. Blastoise never really was over the top for me either, but I mean, it's cool. It's a really cool looking turtle Pokemon. It's just kind of plain. The only really cool thing about it was it had freaking cannons on its back, but besides that, it's just a big looking turtle. Like, it's still cool. Like, I like it. I'll pick it sometimes if I feel like not picking my #1 choice. But for the most part, I'm going to pick the #1 choice, which is going to be Bulbasaur. I am a Bulbasaur boy since day one. It was the first Pokemon I ever chose in a Pokemon game. Call out nostalgia blindness if you want, and you honestly could be right. However, it still just takes the cake for me. Its entire line. Bulbasaur itself is adorable. It is just so cool looking. It's a dinosaur with an onion on its back. It's a freaking onion turtle, guys. It's an onion turtle, and it's awesome. Ivysaur is a good mid-stage where you see like the progression of it grow its flower on its back. It turns from into like a little bud into like the actual flowering portion, and that's cool. I like to see that kind of progression. Excuse me, I just burped slightly. And then when it gets to Venusaur, a lot of people don't like Venusaur because they think it's ugly, and it kind of is a little bit, but it's so cool looking. It's just a dinosaur plant. That's cool, man. I don't know. I just can't explain it. And then its Mega Evolution is awesome too. Like, its abilities are amazing. When Mega Venusaur first came out, I loved using that Pokemon in OU because it basically didn't care about Fire and Ice type attacks, two types that it was normally weak to. So that's another reason that added on to it for me. But I don't know, just something about this little onion turtle has resonated with me for a long time. And to this day, anytime I want to do a Gen 1 game, I will more than likely pick Bulbasaur. And that's the way it's always been for me. So yeah, Bulbasaur is going to come in first place on my list for Generation 1. Now on to Generation 2. And I already know, once again, I'm gonna make someone mad. I know it. Because you see that water type down there in third place? He's staying there. He's staying there. I know, guys. I know. So many people love Totodile, Feraligatr, and Croconaw. So many people do, and I understand why you do. It just never did it for me, though. Like, Feraligatr's awesome. Like, it's so freaking cool looking. It's a giant bipedal gator that can cut through a car with its freaking jaws, dude. That's awesome. But it just never did it for me, and I don't know why. Like, Totodile in and of itself is probably... I mean, like I said, I'm ranking the entire line here. Totodile in and of itself is really adorable. I love Ash's Totodile from the anime. Its personality, it was awesome. I love that Pokemon so much. Croconaw, I'm not a fan. I don't like its underbite that's got going on. I don't like its pattern across its belly. And it just kind of looks like a fat Totodile to me. Like, I don't know. And then Feraligatr, like, it was cool, but it never really did it for me. So, I don't know. I just have to keep Totodile here at number 3. I'm certain a bunch of you are surprised that Chikorita's not here, but actually, Chikorita's dope. I think it is, at least. But not dope enough to be number 1, unfortunately. So we're going to go ahead and move Chikorita down to number 2. And then old boy Cyndaquil right here is going to move up to number 1. Yeah, that's right. I'm a Cyndaquil fan, guys. But let me talk about Chikorita real quick. Chikorita is adorable. Like, look at that face, dude. It's adorable. So many people think that Chikorita is the worst starter Pokemon. And they're kind of right. But not just stats-wise or type-wise or anything. They think it's just the ugliest. I'm like, no, look at that little guy. It's adorable. Like, look at that, man. I think that thing is so freaking cute. It's super cool, too. There was a tweet a while back about people saying that Chikorita was the worst starter Pokemon. There was some people talking about, like, she's talking, like, giving you the side eye, like, oh, I already know. I'm coming for you. You call me the worst? I'm coming for you now. It's hard to explain the tweet. If I remember, I'll try to, like, put it up on screen, but I probably won't. But yeah, Chikorita I think is dope, but honestly, in my opinion, Bayleaf is the best middle evolution so far out of all the starters, in my opinion. Bayleaf is the best middle stage evolution. Quote me on that. I think Bayleaf is super cool. Its design is phenomenal. You really can see the progression of going from Chikorita to Bayleaf, and I love that. And plus, in the show, in the anime, Ash's Bayleaf was so cool. I love that little Pokemon, dude. It was so cool. just, I don't know why, it's just something about its design. It reminds me so much of Littlefoot from Land Before Time. Like, even the leaf rings it has around its neck remind me of the tree stars that they used to eat. I'm pretty sure that's what they were called. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've watched Land Before Time. But yeah, I always loved Bayleaf. And then we get to Meganium. We don't talk about that. Meganium, a lot of people think it's ugly. I don't think it's ugly. I just think it's kind of bad. It's kind of plain looking, I will say, but I still love the first 2 stages, which is why this edges out onto number 2 on my list. And then we have Cyndaquil. I don't know why people hate this thing. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense to me. Look at that little dude, man. It's just a little, like, honey badger with fire on its back. What's not to like? It's adorable and cool at the same time. Like, it's just perfect. It's just perfect. And then Quilava's really cool too. It's just a good progression from Cyndaquil to Typhlosion. It's like a bigger version of it while keeping the fire on its back. It's really, really cool. I don't know why a lot of people hate this Pokemon. I'm just trying to voice my opinions. I will say it's a bit lacking at times when I'm talking about Typhlosion now, which is the final stage. It's a bit lacking in battle at times. A lot of people don't think it hits as hard as it probably should, but it does get access to Flash Fire now, which is really cool. And it's got decent power behind it, especially with like Eruption and stuff. So it's actually pretty capable in battle if you choice Scarf it or something. But competitive aside, I just like the design. I like the ring of fire that it gets basically around its neck and back. It gets like, it just looks really, really cool and menacing now. Like, it's a honey badger. It don't care. It don't care. What can I say besides that? But yeah, Cyndaquil would go ahead and fit nicely into the number 1 spot. Alright, moving on to Gen 3. This is the one we're going to be doing, actually not really, we're not going to be doing too much rearranging actually. So, we're going to go ahead, and in number 3, you already know, just get him down here. Just get him down here. I'm not a Treecko fan, guys. I know some people like him, it's not for me. He's not, I don't understand. A lot of people think he's cool, I don't think he is, but whatever. This is how I rate Gen 3 right there. Just moving Treecko up to 3, that would work it out pretty well. I'm not a big fan of Treecko, I'm really not. I think it's kind of ugly, to be perfectly honest. Like, if you think it's cool looking, that's fine. I understand. I mean, parts of it are cool looking. I just don't really like it that much. Like, even in the anime, I wasn't a big fan of Ash's Treecko or anything, or its personality. But Grovyle's dope. I really like Grovyle. I think it's probably one of the better mid-stage evolutions for sure. It's got a good move pool. It's powerful. Gets Leaf Blade. Same thing with Sceptile. It's cool. But Sceptile, I don't really like it that much either. Like, it's Mega too. It just looks kind of ugly, so to speak. And I know I said that about Treecko too, but like, it's just my opinion. Whatever. I don't like its Mega. It just looks like a blown up Christmas tree. It looks like someone forgot how to decorate. They just kind of decorated a Christmas tree like blindfold or something. And I don't know. It just never really did it for me. Like, if you, like, again, preface this again. Opinions. Opinions. If you like Treecko, that's okay. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not. Even in battle, though, like, just for me, it doesn't really hit as hard as it should sometimes, and doesn't really get the moves I wish it would. It does get Dragon Dance, which is pretty cool, so a physical set with, like, Dragon Claw, Leaf Blade, and Earthquake is kind of neat. But besides that, I'm just not a big fan of it. Like, I've used it before, so, like, it's put in good work for me. But design-wise, like, purely aesthetically, it doesn't resonate with me. Then we got Torchic. Torchic falls into number 2 here. I do like Torchic. I do like Combusken. I do like Blaziken. Torchic is adorable. It's a great, great, great Stage 1 starter. It's super cute. It's cool. It's got, like, this whole, like, chicken thing going on. And a lot of people thought, like... Or, not a lot of people, probably. But a lot of people say it's KFC or something. I don't know. Torchic's just cute. And then you move on to Combusken. Combusken's kind of awkward. Not a big fan of Combusken. It's cool, but that's about it. Like, I always felt like it looked kind of weird. I don't know if it's just me. I feel like other people probably felt that way. But then you get to Blaziken, and Blaziken's just, like, what else can I describe it besides, like, just sick? It's so cool looking. It's so dope. Blaziken, first ever fire fighting type, too, I think. I don't know if it was the first, but I know it was the first out of the starters. And then this began the trend. But Blaziken was really cool. Like, it was a new type of its kind. There was a concept art of it looking like Latias, where people were thinking it might have been a legendary Pokemon originally, which is cool, like, lore to the Pokemon games as a general. It's got a great ability and speed boost, a great hidden ability, and a great Mega Evolution, making it one of the best Pokemon in the entire metagame. It got banned Ubers for a reason, guys. It's a good Pokemon, like, really, really good. But that little water mudfish right there, just, it tickles my heartstrings, man. Look at his face. Look at his face and tell me you don't love him. Tell me you don't. I like Mudkips, guys. I love Mudkips. What can I say? Memes aside, it's such an adorable base evolution. I don't know what my fascination with this Pokemon is. It's one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. Marshtomp, albeit, is kind of goofy. It's got a weird looking face, and in Generation 6 and 7, it looks way bigger than it should be. Like, it genuinely scares me how big this thing is in battle, especially when it's on your side. And like Coliseum and XD, they sized it pretty small, and I was like, oh, that seems about right. That's probably what I would size it. But in Gen 6 and Gen 7, X and Y, and like Sun and Moon, it's pretty big. It creeps me out genuinely sometimes to see how big it is. But then you get into the big bad Swampert, and oh my god, this entire evolution chain was worth it. This Pokemon is so good, hits like a truck, has great bulk, great move pool, Avalanche, Waterfall, Earthquake, Scald, Stealth Rocks, great competitively viable Pokemon. And if you want to go straight up offensive when it Mega Evolves and gets those big gains going on, it's got arms for days, man. He's got pythons that got gummy worms. Let's go. Its Mega Evolution gets access to the Swift Swim ability, which doubles its speed in the rain, which is a really good ability for making it a sweeper. So if you max out its attack and speed for competitive, and then just give it Waterfall, Earthquake, and like Ice Punch, dude, this thing hits like a truck. You can't stop it. Stab, Waterfall, in the rain destroys lives, dude. Like, it genuinely does, and I love it. I've used this Pokemon so many times. I've used all 3 Gen 3 Pokemon at least at one point in my life, but Mudkip has always been the one I've stuck with consistently. And for that reason, it still is number 1 in my heart when it comes to ranking these starters. Moving on to Gen 4, this is a tough one. This is a tough one indeed. And I would like to point out, I don't just stick with one type. A lot of people stick with like the Fire starter or the Water starter. As you guys can see, I went Grass Gen 1, Fire Gen 2, and Water Gen 3, so I'm mixing it up a little bit. This one is really hard for me. Well, not too hard, actually. These two are hard. This one belongs down here. This one belongs down here. Nano, I'm sorry if you're watching this, bud. I don't like one of your favorite Pokemon. I don't like Okay, scratch that. Turtwig is cool. Turtwig is a dope basic Pokemon. It is really adorable. It's super cool. It was great in the anime, had a great personality. I love the arc where it refused to dodge moves because it didn't want to show weakness. That was super cool. And then it becomes Grotle and it just goes downhill from there. It really does, man. Grottle's ugly as hell. Torterra is just kind of dumb looking. It has a tree on its back. It's its own biome, which is kind of neat. But besides that, it's really bad. It's such a bad Pokemon. It's slow, it's powerful, but really, really, really slow, and that holds it back so hard. It's 4 times weak to ice, being grass and ground, and I don't know, even in the show, it got so much worse. Like, it went from winning a lot to just losing and losing, and then later on, Ash taught it Rock Climb for some unknown reason, and then that just kind of ruined it for me right there. Like, why would you genuinely teach something Rock Climb unless you're going to use Rock Climb for exploration or something? I know I'm using game logic in the anime, but whatever. I don't know. I just don't like this Pokemon. Or I should say I don't like this line because I like Turtwig. I don't like Grotle. I don't like Torterra at all. Those two were really hard for me though. Chimchar and Piplup, I go back and forth so hard on these two, man. It's basically like a coin flip which one I'm liking on the day. Oh, but looking at them right now, I'm gonna leave Chimchar at number 2 and put Piplup number 1. I don't know. Just looking at them right now, I love penguins, so there's that. Chimchar was really cool. It may have continued the firefighting trend, but it did it really cool in my opinion. Personally, I think Infernape and Monferno are better designs than Combusken and Blaziken. Go ahead and at me if you want, but that's just my opinion. Chimchar is really cool and adorable looking. Its middle stage evolution Monferno is actually really dope. A lot of the middle stage cars just kind of look like they're awkward teenage years to me, but Monferno actually looks like a good progression for the most part. It's a really interesting design. And then when you get to Infernape, it's just like, holy crap, that's one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my entire life. I want it right now. And it's, like I said, firefighting. It got close combat. It got Flare Blitz. It hits like a truck, dude. Its arc in the anime where it was mastering its Blaze ability was really cool. I'm using all of this logic into my thought process. But there's just something about Piplup, man. Like, look at that little guy. Look at that little penguin, dude. Pingu is here, man. I just love this Pokemon. And I feel like this is mainly because as you guys might or might not know, I did a lot of competitive battling leagues in my time. And almost all the time when I grabbed like a water Pokemon for a wall, I chose Empoleon because I knew it would do well. It gets Stealth Rocks, it gets Flash Cannon, Scald, I believe it gets Defog. If it got Roost, it'd be one of my favorite Pokemon to use competitively for sure. It gets Ice Beam too, good coverage. It gets Defiant, so if you want to be cheeky and run like an Agility Swords Dance set with Defiant, that'd be really awesome. I've done that before, it's actually kind of fun to use. But design-wise, I'm not a big fan of Prinplup, it's okay. But Piplup is adorable, and Empoleon's just awesome. It's got like this whole like, Napoleon Bonaparte, like not French Revolution, that wasn't the French Revolution. Don't listen to me, I'm not historically accurate at all. It's just got this cool design going on. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's definitely, like, very classy looking, and I like it. It's, like, classy while looking awesome at the same time, and, like, that just fits so well. So, for those reasons, I'm gonna leave Piplup at number 1 on this list. And we move on to Gen 5. I'm just gonna come right out and say it. Tepig is the worst starter Pokemon, in my opinion. It just is. Tepig is the worst starter Pokemon, in my opinion. Tepig never really did it for me. I thought it was okay designed. It was alright. Pignite's ugly. It just is. It's just disgusting looking. It looks like it just got really fat real quick and then learned how to walk on 2 legs. And then Emboar is kind of ugly too. It's just got fire on its neck. Like, it's a good, I don't know. It also continued the trend of fire fighting types, which also kind of ticked me off, but whatever. I truthfully, honestly believe Tepig is the worst designed starter line. If Tepig is your favorite Pokemon, or Pignite or Emboar, that's fine. I'm sorry I'm insulting a Pokemon you like, but it's just not for me. If you like it, that's fine, though. If you like it, that's fine. Remember, opinions. Opinions. It just doesn't do it for me. But, speaking of not doing it for me, only barely making it to second place is Snivy. Like, I don't like Snivy. Well, actually, no. I take that back. I do kind of like Snivy, and I do kind of like Servine. I'm not a big fan of Serperior. I don't know what it is. Snivy's cool looking. Servine's like a good progression middle stage evolution. But Serperior, I don't know what did it for me. I think it's just the loss of appendages that I'm like, how was this a good form of evolution? Like, you lost arms. Like, I can hold these berries, and now it's like, what do I do now? How do I hold the berries now? I can't do it. I don't have arms. Like, I never understood that. The progression just kind of, like, weirded me out. I know it's supposed to be a snake, so it's not supposed to have arms, but, like, I don't know. It just weirded me out. I will say I do like using Serperior competitively because Contrary to Leaf Storm is really, really, really good. However, just something about this Pokemon just doesn't really do it for me. And even then, like, there's no contest that I'm putting Oshawott number 1. There is no contest. Oshawott is my favorite starter Pokemon of all time. And that is for one reason and one reason only. Otters are my favorite animal by far. My favorite animal, dude. I love otters so much. Tweet otter videos and pictures to me at KaiGuySlider on Twitter. Do it, please. I will love you forever. Anyway, Oshawott is adorable. Look at the way it's holding his little scalp chop right there, man. He's so cool. He's so cute and so cool. Ash's in the anime was awesome. It deflected attacks with its little Scalchop shell. It had a great personality. It was always excited and ready to go. It was ready to win and give its best, and I just love it. Duat's an alright middle stage, like, it's okay. But Samurott is just, it's just awesome. Like, it's just super cool. It's a sea lion samurai otter. How is that not, how do people not think that's cool? A lot of people are like, Samurott's stupid looking. No, it's so dope looking, dude. A lot of people will also say it's not that good, but if you Scarf or Specs this thing, or ban this thing, dude, it gets access to Air Slash, Surf, Scald, Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Mega Horn. It gets a bunch of good moves. It gets access to Sword Dance, Aqua Jet. Dude, it's pretty good. Like, a lot of people don't give it as much credit as you should, but it's actually a pretty good Pokemon. And again, this is mainly because I love otters, but I do genuinely love this Pokemon, and it is my favorite starter of all time. Then we go on to Gen 6. Now, this one's difficult because I can't decide. Alright, hold on. Let me get one thing out of the way real quick. This guy belongs down here. This guy belongs down here for one reason. And I'll explain that in a second. However, with these two, I'm really, really torn. These two have me so torn. Anyway, Chespin belongs on this list for one reason and one reason alone. Quilladin. That is the only reason Chespin is on this list. Quilladin is the ugliest abomination to ever be invented. Game Freak, what the hell were you thinking when you designed this Pokemon? It is disgusting. It looks like a fat acorn. I don't know what the heck y'all were thinking. It is just the worst designed Pokemon I've seen in a long time. I'm sorry if this is upsetting you, but it's just my opinion. Again, I just really hate Quilladin. Chestnut's dope. Chespin's adorable, but Quilladin immediately makes this thing last place. No chance of it ever coming out of there. Moving on to second place, though, this is where it gets difficult for me. because if we're going base stage, I choose Fennekin. If we're going final stage, I choose Greninja. Oh, I really can't decide between these two. I love Greninja, but I love Fennekin and Braixen. Oh man, I'm gonna go Froakie for number 1. I'm gonna go Froakie. I do love water types. 4 water types in a row, I know. But yeah, I've got to go Froakie number 1. Fennekin, when I first saw these 3 stars, my immediate selection was Fennekin. For sure. There was no contest. I was picking Fennekin. I love foxes, especially Fennec foxes. I think they are adorable. And it was a fire fox too. It was like another Ninetales. It was like the second coming of Ninetales. And I thought that was awesome. And then the second forms came out. And I was like, okay, I mean, Froakie looks cooler, but why, like, Braixen's alright. Like, it's a cool witch looking thing. Like, it's not bad. Chespin Quilladin was still an abomination though. But then we get to the final stage, and a lot of people will hate on Delphox, like, so super hard. Like, to the end of time they will hate on Delphox. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Braixen is much cooler, but Delphox is not that bad. But you just can't outclass Greninja, dude. It's so cool. It's a freaking ninja frog with a tongue scarf. That's awesome. Whoever thought of that at Game Freak, give them a raise. Let them design every Pokemon you've got. Unless they design Tepig, in which case, fire them. Anyway. Froakie's super cool. Frogadier is a great middle stage. It's such a good middle stage. Braixen's a really good middle stage too, but then once you get to Delphox versus Greninja, Greninja's taking it all day. It's in Smash for a reason. It's a really cool Pokemon. It's one of the most popular Pokemon out there, to be honest. It's such a dope Pokemon, and Ash Greninja is a great form for it to give it a little extra boost. Gets a great ability in Protean with giving it stab to all of its moves. Gets Night Slash, Dark Pulse, Scald, Surf, U-Turn, Gunk Shot, Ice Beam. I think I said U-Turn already. It gets Spikes, Toxic Spikes. It gets so many good moves. It's just a jack of all trades Pokemon, and I just love it. I've used it so much in competitive. Water Shuriken is amazing. It's a signature move. I have to leave it up here. I have to leave it at number 1. Gen 7 we actually don't even have to touch though, because this is how I'd rate them. This is actually how I'd rate them. I'm sorry, Poplio. I am. I wanted to like you. When I first saw you, I thought I was going to pick you, but the more I stared at you and realized you're based off of like a circus clown, I was like, no. I hate clowns, guys. I can't do it. I had to say no to the little sea lion. Brionne is an ugly abomination too. It's right behind Quilladin. Like, I don't know why it is on. They may try to make it look like a pop star. It's like Britney Spears or like Miley Cyrus. And like, or actually no, better yet, it's probably Katy Perry. It looks like Katy Perry. I just think it's ugly. Primarina is awesome. It's really good competitively. Water Fairy is an amazing typing. Gets Moonblast, Scald, gets Surf, gets Psychic, gets Ice Beam. It's got a great move pool. It's a great wall too. But the first 2 stages just hold it back for me. I don't know what it is. Besides that's about it. Then we get into Litten, and I love cats. I love cats. I have a cat of my own. I think this Pokemon's awesome. It's really cool looking. It's got a great design. It's adorable. I just want to cuddle it forever. Torracat is an awesome middle stage evolution. A lot of people love it for a good reason. It's got that little fire bell around its neck, and it's awesome looking. It just looks like a bigger Litten, and I think that's perfect. That's how a middle stage should be. You don't want the Pokemon to look like it's going through like puberty or something. You want it to actually look like a natural progression. And then Incineroar, like, it's cool. At first I didn't like it that much, but it's kind of grown on me a lot. I've used it in VGC, I've used it competitively, and I love it now. It's got a great move pool. It gets Fake Out, U-Turn, gets Darkest Lariat as a signature move, which is really good. Flare Blitz gets Crunch. Trying to think what other good moves it gets. I think it gets Earthquake. I could be wrong. But it gets a lot of really good moves, and using this in VGC, I think it gets Quick Card. No, wait. I don't think so. Never mind. Forget I said that. It gets a lot of really good moves, and I've used this thing plenty of times in VGC, so it grew on me over time. But there's just no beating the owl, man. Look at that little guy. Look at that little round boy. Look at that little round boy right there. Oh my god, I love him so much. He's got a bow tie. He's on fleek, dude. He knows bow ties are cool. Shout out to Matt Smith. That's what I named my first route. I named it Matt Smith. If you don't know, Matt Smith was the name of the actor who played the 10th Doctor on Doctor Who, and I love me some Doctor Who. Anyway, so Rowlet was just adorable. Even in the anime, like, Ash's Rowlet was really cute and really cool. The way it just falls asleep during mid-battle, it's adorable. It's a little owl. Like, how do you not love them? I love owls so much. Dartrix, we don't talk about that. It looks like freaking Nick from Jimmy Neutron, like it does. It's trying to be, it's got like emo hair going on, and like, we don't talk about that. Decidueye is by far one of the coolest final form starters I've ever seen. It is a Ghost Grass type, which is kind of unique. I know we have Phantump and Gourgeist and all them. Those two lines like Trevenant, Phantump, and Pumpkaboo Gourgeist. But it's a relatively unique typing, which is cool. It's got a great signature move in Spirit Shackle, preventing you from switching. Has a good attack stat, good special attack stat as well. Gets Leaf Blade, gets Sword Stance, gets U-Turn. I'm trying to think what else it gets. I think it gets Brave Bird as well. It's got a pretty good move pool. It can be special defensive or offensive too, 'cause it's got a pretty good special defense stat. The only thing really holding it back is its speed. But if you want to use it as a wall, that doesn't really matter a whole lot. But yeah, I just love this Pokemon. I love owls, and the freaking Robin Hood aesthetic it's got going on, man. It's just super duper cool. Like, I just love it. I love it. It's an Archer Owl, man. It's literally freaking Robin Hood combined with Green Arrow, and that's just the coolest thing to me. And then we move on to possibly the hardest one to rank, because we haven't seen their middle stages or their final forms. Here we have Gen 8. We've got Grookey, the grass type, Scorbunny, the fire type, and Sobble, the water type. When I first saw these starters, if you guys watched my reaction video, I said I loved all three of them, and I have not said that for a starter line since I don't know when. Because, like, Gen 7, I wasn't a big fan of Rowlet. Gen 6, I wasn't a big fan of Froakie originally, but then I became not a big fan of Chespin. Gen 5 had Tepig. Gen 4 had Turtwig. Gen 3 had Trico. Like, going all the way back, I can't find a group of stars where I think they're this solid. A lot of people think Scorbunny's kind of stupid looking, but I think it's dope. It's a cool fire rabbit. That's awesome. And I understand why people might not like some of their designs, but for me, these three have been the best basic form starters we've had in a while. If you don't agree with me, that's fine, but for me, that's just where it hits. I haven't seen their middle evolutions, I haven't seen their final evolutions yet, so it's hard to base off of, but I'm saying pure basic forms, this is the best we've had in a while, at least in my opinion. So first up, in third place, I'm gonna have to go with Grookey. I'm gonna leave the good boy monkey down there. I'm sorry, he's adorable, but it just gives me too much Chespin vibes. Like, I don't know what it is. Something about him just, like, he's adorable. Like, this is not saying he's bad. He is the least of three awesome choices. Of three really, really awesome choices. But he just doesn't do it for me as much as the other two. Like, he's cool, he's adorable, I can't wait to see what he turns into. It's just, I got too much of a Chespin vibe from it. I kind of wanted some more originality from it, so that's kind of why he's down here. But yeah. And then at number 2, we're going to leave Scorbunny, and number 1 is going to be Sobble. So first up, we're going to go with Scorbunny at number 2. A lot of people think it's stupid, like I said, but I think it's dope. I saw a video where someone was like, it looks like a Digimon. It really does. Like, it straight up looks like a Digimon. But it's a fire rabbit, and it's really cool. Rabbits are some of my favorite animals too. I'm a sucker for Bunbuns. It's adorable, it's cool looking, it's really high energy, which I like. It's got that, like I said, it's got that Sonic the Hedgehog kind of vibe going on, so I'm about it. I can't really say much else other than the fact that I like the design. I think it's cool. But oh my god, Sobble, me and you will cry together until the ends of time, dude. It's literally a cross between Mudkip and Froakie, and I love it so much. It's a water chameleon, dude. It's so cute. It just wants to, it's so timid, but it just wants to, I don't know, it's just something about him, man. It just tugs at my heartstrings a little bit. Look at its little face. I don't know what it is about this Pokemon, but I love him so much, and we are going to cry together all the way to the Elite Four. Come on, Sobble, me and you, buddy. That's right, I'm picking Sobble in Gen 8. Let me know what you guys are picking in the Generation 8 games down below. Alright, that's going to do it for this video, though, because I can't really go into much more depth than that when it comes to Gen 8. If you guys did enjoy this video, I'd really appreciate if you leave a like by clicking that thumbs up button down below. And like I said, leave a comment, let me know how you would rank the starters, or if you just want to be simple about it, let me know who you're picking in Gen 8. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, also, subscribe if you're new. If this is your first time checking out my videos and you want to see more of my face and see more of my content, do me a favor and click that subscribe button down below and become a subscriber today. I would really appreciate it. That's going to do it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I've been KaiGuySlider, and I hope you guys have a very, very, very good rest of your day. Goodbye.